Welcome back to Notes Architecture. If you are just starting to learn about construction details or have just joined an architecture firm, you will definitely run into a phenomenon that makes your brain freeze. Today, let's draw a highly representative detail together: the ventilated ridge of a pitched roof. Look at this original drawing. There are two striking red dashed lines, one inside and one outside. If you understand why these two red lines are drawn this way, your construction logic is already ahead of many beginners. We have a dedicated video explaining this topic, so feel free to check it out if you're interested. Grab your pen and paper. Today, I'll take you step by step to draw this breathing roof, following the most realistic construction sequence. Step 1. Build the main structure. The basic load-bearing skeleton of a pitched roof consists of the slanted rafters on both sides. But notice the middle here. The designer added a horizontal collar tie. Once this horizontal tie is added, a closed triangular space is formed at the very top of the roof. In architecture, we call this a cold roof. This means we don't plan to heat this little attic peak. Once we locate this thermal boundary, the rest of the logic falls perfectly into place. Step 2. Fill in the insulation. Based on the thermal boundary we just found, we stuff the insulation between the rafters. When we reach the collar tie, notice that the insulation doesn't continue all the way up, but instead runs horizontally along the tie. This is a crucial detail, excluding the unheated cold roof from the insulation envelope. Not only saves insulation material, but also significantly reduces the building's heating energy consumption. Step 3. Let's work on the roof's outer physical layers. Above the insulation, we first draw the support battens, followed by the wood boarding. Finally, lay down our first red line for today. This is the breathable underlayment laid on the outermost side. Combined with the breathable on the cold side principle we mentioned last time, this outerwear is amazing. It blocks rain from leaking in, but if a tiny bit of water vapor accidentally gets into the insulation, this membrane allows it to pass through. Step 4. We need to vent that escaped water vapor away. This is the soul of a pitched roof: ventilation. We install counter battens and roof battens above the waterproofing membrane. This raises the roof surface, creating a ventilation gap a few centimeters thick. Cold air enters from the eaves, climbs up this gap, and takes all the escaped moisture with it. Since it acts like a chimney, there must be an exit when it reaches the ridge, right? So look closely underneath the ridge tile at the very top. We can't seal it completely. Instead, we must install a breathable ridge roll. This way, the air can smoothly exhaust to the outside from the highest point of the ridge. Step 5. The final step. The outer shell is done. So let's go back inside for the moisture barrier and finishes. This is where today's second red line comes in. Tightly against the inner side of the insulation, we must lay the vapor barrier. Its job is to completely block the warm, moist air below the ceiling, preventing it from drilling into the structure and condensing. Tight on the warm side. After installing the vapor barrier, never drive nails straight through it to install the plasterboard. We need to install a layer of wood battens below the vapor barrier first, creating an installation cavity, and finally install the interior finish. This protects the integrity of the vapor barrier while providing space for wiring. You see, walking through it with the logic of real construction. Main structure, then insulation, then external breathable waterproofing and roof tiles. And finally back inside for the vapor barrier and finishes. With these two red lines, one inside, one outside, one gas, one liquid, hasn't it instantly become extremely clear? The next time you look at an architectural detail, you'll be able to see exactly what each material layer is really doing at a glance. If you found today's detail notes helpful, don't forget to like, save, and subscribe to Notes Architecture. Every Monday, I will use actual construction details to break down the most confusing construction knowledge. Let's level up our detailing skills together. See you next time.